running 100 miles in minimalistic barefoot shoes on LSD. Another stupid ideas in the books.
In the middle of UTMB, dropping some acid.
UTMB is arguably the most prestigious trail race on the planet, often referred to as the Super Bowl of trail running. Not just for the sheer scale of it, but the hype, the media attention, and the level of competition it attracts.
So the UTMB is considered as one of the hardest, toughest trail races in the world. It goes over 100 miles, what is around 178 kilometers. It has 10,000 meters of elevation climb. That means you go mountains up, mountains down, mountains up again. And the full race goes one lap around Mont Blanc, what is the highest mountain of Europe. You crossing from French to Italy to the Swiss and then back to French. You pretty much only on trails, like where people normally hike. That is where we run. It's now a little bit over 3 years since I started running. I never was run before. I never liked the idea of running. I still don't so much, but I was falling in love with trail running, with the endurance, with the mental state, the pain you have to push through, to this enormous time you out there with yourself. You challenge yourself, you challenge your mind, your force with your evil spirits, with your evil mind, with your thoughts, with the bad, the good, the ups and downs. There's such a big surface of what trail running is. It's wonderful, you know. You're just out there in the nature. You're more like on a really big adventure, especially you go for these really, really long runs. You're very minimalistic. You have this small running vest with just the essentials, what you need. And you train, you put in daily discipline. There's so much stuff who goes into a race like this, who goes into a journey like this, into a ritual like this. It's wonderful. I never expected all of this catched me so fast, but here I am, 2025, 3 years and 4 months or something after I made my very first run, what was like my impossible marathon experimenty thingy, where I tried to run a marathon barefoot, no training, 5 days, no food. That was such a mind fuck. The impossible marathon. Yep, that was my very first run, and now here I am, was running the UTMB. So to dial a little bit back in the story, last year I was run a lot of UTMB races, and the UTMB is kind of like the world championships of trail running. It's one of the most known, one of the oldest, one of the most competitive, and everyone want to be part of it. Everyone want to run it. So you have to qualify, you have to collect running stones and so on, and then you have to go into the lottery, and maybe with some chances when you was run a lot of other UTMB races before, especially the really long ones, then you're able to run the UTMB. So last year I was run a lot of UTMB races. I was run a lot of organized races. It was one part of my running journey because it gives you a lot of confidence to try long distances. You know, you have everywhere aid station, you have other people running with you. It's a little bit more safe than when you just go out by yourself for really long journeys. I can see my future as going more into the more adventurous side of the sport, into more solo trips and trying different things, especially for multiple days, for really long distances, for really trying to push myself and what's possible. Kind of at the end of the year, I'm retired from official races, and this year I was really in love with the backyard ultra style races, what is kind of last one standing concept. It goes till only one person is left, so you have not a real end, so it's much more crazy for the mind. And there's a lot of other running concepts who goes in the ultra direction with a lot more crazy FKTs for fastest known time, when you just set a record from running from A to B through some more or less known trails or whatever, and you're just out there by yourself. So that's especially what I'm more interested in the future. But anyway, let's go dive back to the UTMB. I was running a lot of UTMB last year, and at some point I was like not so slow and I was really pushing it, and then I was run the Thailand 100 miler from UTMB, what is a major run of the UTMB, and blah blah blah. I got quite a higher UTMB index, and I was getting a lot of UTMB stones, and somehow I got like a qualification for the UTMB without have to go into the lottery. So I got a little bit excited, and I was okay, let's screw it with the retirement of normal races. Let's use the UTMB for retiring from normal races. So fast forward, that was like probably 8 months ago. Then I signed up. It was quite pricey and I was like shocked, but like, okay, I was excited and I signed up to the UTMB. Started my running year. I made a lot of ultras, a lot of like single ultras, just me alone outside there, going through a night, going through a day, making big journeys or making like a lot of loops. And I joined a couple of other backyard races and had a lot of long runs there, and I know this is my direction, and I feel just like much more comfortable than on these really high, big, organized races. I was pretty much out of normal race training. I was out of normal race mindset, and here I am. UTMB starting line 8 months later. I tried to train a little bit for it, and I didn't, because I pretty much didn't run all year much with the vest or with some weight on me, and I never had the idea to seriously run the UTMB, to try to run the fastest time or like pushing it really for me. Especially I know 2 weeks after I have a more important backyard ultra for me, which I kind of trained all year for. So I really don't want to push it too much on the UTMB, because 2 weeks of recovery time after a 100-miler race like this is really not much. Your body is really drained after this. Your body is really screwed. So you spend probably 1 week just alone to just eating and napping to get like the almost 2 days of sleep deprivation back. So all the deficit of nutrition you have to get back. You have to eat a lot. You have to nap a lot. You just have to gain up all the energy. Also, yeah, it's a lot for the body to run so much kilometers. So like everything hurts, everything is pain. You pull through a lot of stuff. Even when you not injure yourself, it's still like very heavy on the body. So either way, I didn't try to push it. I didn't try to run like super fast. I had like my somewhere 40 hours time in my mind, because there's a time cutoff of 46 hours. So I know like, yeah, whatever I make, as long as I'm under 46 hours finish the race, everything is fine. That gives me like a lot of wiggle room. That gives me like, really don't have to push it. I really could even sleep for a couple of hours when I really need it, and so on. So much people. But now let's speak about the full experience, trying to run the entire UTMB with very minimalistic barefoot shoes. As first, it's very unusual that people running with barefoot shoes or very minimalistic with shoes. A lot of people have very high-tech shoes, advanced shoes. They swap shoes in the race. They have more newer shoes with a lot of cushioning, with a lot of polstering. It's a very little impact, but it's less impact for the body than when you're running on barefoot shoes. So the shoes I wear is a Viva Barefoot Primus Trail 2. They pretty much have 3 mm of rubber under, and that's pretty much it. There's no drop, there's no extra cushion on the heel or anything, so it's just as minimalistic as it is, as minimalistic as they allow you to run, because your feet are protected. You can cut yourself, but you feel every stone, you feel really everything. And it's a real punishment for the body. It's difficult to say. I'm barefoot for 20 years or something. So like for me, even to wear barefoot shoes feels like, wow, my feet are so protected. I'm immortal. I can do everything. But sure, you run like everything over like 50 kilometers, it starts really hurting in your knees and in your feet, and it starts really taking a toll on the body. So that is the one thing I try to challenge myself, to just stay very minimalistic with my shoes, get my body used to it, to be as simple as it can be. So then the second thing I was thinking about is to adding some LSD for the run, because usually LSD is a amplifier of everything, your sensations, your mind, your thoughts, everything, how you take something in, and you go into a big race like this is a really big ritual. So it's anyway something really crazy for your mind, for your conscience. There's a constant struggle with the good, with the evil, with all of this stuff in your mind. So you want to be as focused and as clear as possible. The same is like sensations on the body. You not really want the amplifier of pain, you know. And LSD is not like a drug, like a painkiller who takes the pain away or something like this, or distract you from something. So you take LSD and you have pain. The pain feels just much more intense, much more intensified. And I run a couple of ultras before with using LSD, but usually I take it in the very beginning of the race. So in the moment I'm around 50-60 kilometers, when slowly the body starts to hurt and slowly it becomes painful, then kind of the LSD wears off, and then I'm alone in my mind and I'm just like, okay, now I'm going into the pain part, into the pain tunnel of the race. This time I tried to shift everything. So I tried to take the LSD around 90 kilometers in, and I took 200 microgram of LSD, 25 pure LSD.
We have this beautiful spot. Here's the cross. And now it's time. Taking a little bit of LSD. We have 2 drops. We take the one now and one later. After exactly 84 kilometers, so we are really in the middle of the UTMB. We are dropping some acid. So I keep you updated.
So let's go back to the start of the race. The race starts roughly around 6 in the evening. So that means you know you will go directly into the first night. And it was not a good year, like weather-wise, it was really rough. So it started directly raining in the moment we start running. Kind of heavy raining, and it kept raining for, I don't know, probably almost the entire night. And there was a couple of really big climbs in the night. So you entering the big mountains, like some of the highest mountains of Europe, and you're completely drained from being rained on for many hours, and it comes up there and it was like below zero. I read some stuff from -8 up there, and it was snowstorming there, like snow shoot from the side, and there was wind, and it was so cold. It was really crazy. Usually me and a lot of people using the trekking poles, especially for going up hills, and for me it was, my fingers were so frozen I couldn't hold my poles anymore. So I put my poles aside and I put my hands, very funky, because I had the rain jacket, and under the rain jacket I had this little fleece with pockets. So I put my rain jacket up here, and then I put my hands with fists into my fleece, and then the rain jacket was there, but all the clothing is very tight because you have this lightweight special clothing because you don't want so much weight on you, because when it gets warmer the next day you have to carry that in your vest. So it was very tight, and I don't had so much stuff with me. And then I was ascending the highest mountains there with my hands in here, like really clamped in. So means I would fall or slip. I could not even like take my hands out fast to catch myself because they was squeezed in too much, and it was so slippery, and there was everywhere snowy, slippery, muddy. It was really crazy, and I couldn't help. I could not have my hands out. My fingers was frozen way too crazy. It was way too painful on my fingers, so that was the only option I had.
40 kilometers in. Put up this tent because of the crazy weather conditions, so it's now mandatory to wear. Because of the rain band, now I wear everything. Fingers are completely frozen. It's tough. 40 kilometers, 2,200 meters of climb. We are like a quarter in, almost. It's tough, but it goes through the night, and then we hope of a little bit of sun in the morning.
And when you enter a race like this, you're never sure if you can finish it, you know. It's like 178 kilometers, like over many mountains in the nature. over 2 nights. Like a lot of things can happen. I will have to go over 2 nights because I don't plan to have a fast pace. I try to get it chill. So you enter the first night and it's cold, it's raining, it's like frozen. It's a really tough night. And you just survive the first night. The light comes up a little bit. You're out there and you're like just holding on something. I don't know. It's really crazy. It's really hard to explain how to prepare for something like this, because going through the first night, what everyone who ran there was going through, it's really hard to prepare for something like this. And then to not tap out and to continue. This is all your mind, you know. This is all in your mind, and you have to train your mind. Every time I'm here at home and I don't feel like running and I go running, I train my mind. Every time it's a really cold and horrible night and I know, oh, that's a really horrible night this night, let's go out and run. It's a night, I train my mind. Every time I'm sick, I feel not good and I go out and run. That is where I train my mind. And I made many of these runs. You're lying in a bed and you wake up because there's a horrible thunderstorm out there. You know, you put your clothes on, you go out there for a run, because that is how you train your mind. Every time you really don't want to run, that is when you train your mind. And I love training my mind, because under the line, this is what makes you tougher. This is how you grow to not do easy things, you know. I always say tough shit have to be done, because that's how I feel. I don't like the easy way. I don't like the easy path, because it's boring, you know. Everybody can do it. I know I can do it, and in a moment I know I can do something. It loses the thrill, or what means the thrill? That this question, if it's possible, can I push myself, you know? When I just want it enough, is it possible? There's so many puzzle pieces can come together, and this is the most fascinating thing for ultras for me.
So here we are on a very high peak, survived the night, 4,000 meters of elevation behind us at 62 kilometers. It was a rough night. It was freezing. On the last peak, it was the same height than this. It was way below zero. It was raining and snowing. Oh, I was like, almost freeze my fingers off. This was crazy. So yeah, 110 more kilometers to go. I don't want to even think about this. That's what we signed up. That's why we're here. Grind it hard. Just don't stop.
Yes, it needs a certain amount of sportsmanship, of athleticism, of training, of fitness, and so on. But I'm very young in that game, you know. Most people who run something like this, they're not just 3 years running. A lot of them run for many more years, half their life, or many more years. This still doesn't prepare you for the mental aspect of long runs like this. I'm on the other hand just running 3 years, but I mentally trained myself to go through hard rituals for 20 years. So you see, that is where it comes together, and there is where I think I found my sport. I found a nice thing to do, you know.
Look at this. Beautiful view. Wonderful. This is why we do this. This is not the first nice view today. One of many. Because we are already 4,600 meters of elevation. 71 kilometers. Half time almost.
And you have to see it like a ritual. You go into a really long run, you come out a different person than you run in, you know. Because it changes you. There's so much evil things you're confronted, so much thoughts, you're alone there in the nature. You spend so much time alone in the nature. Reflecting yourself, reflecting your mind, being in your thoughts, thinking about stuff with no escape. It's beautiful when you ask me, but for a lot of people it sounds horrible, but for me it sounds beautiful. I love to be in my mind. I love to think. I love to have time to think. I love to just let my mind free.
Still smiling. I mean, the first night we was go through, well, I had not much to smile, but it was dark, no one seen.
So yeah, the very first night was really tough, like really tough. A lot of people dropped out of the race, especially because of the first night. A lot of people, and you could read everywhere, it was one of the toughest years, like one of the toughest weathers, because the first night really broke the people. And it's really hard to recover from a tough night like this and to keep going and to push it further after you've broken down so much. That is where you really have to set up a really positive mindset. You really cannot think about the past in races like this, in journeys like this. You have to really take every step as it comes. And it's like life, you know. In life, you should not get dragged by what's behind you. You should not be scared from what's in front of you. You should just take every step as it is. As long as I can make a step in front of my feet, just let's do it, you know, and see what happened. Don't quit because you think you cannot do it. Don't quit because you had a hard journey till there. Just don't quit. It's kind of very simple. Just don't stop. This is my idea of ultras, of life. Just don't stop. Never fucking stop. Just keep going, keep moving, keep whatever happens. Forward is where you want to go.
So now in Italy, weather looks good. Special treats either way.
And there will be a lot of tough moments in life, a lot of tough moments in every ultra, in your mind, in your body, in whatever comes. It's about going forward. And this is something I really love about ultras. It's so simple to be confronted with so much of yourself, and it's still so simple to overcome it. It's still so simple to do it, you know. You can just go out of your house and run, and you can confront your biggest enemies. What is yourself? Because you are the one holding yourself back the most. And one thing is for certain, it takes a lot of discipline to go further. It takes a lot of commitment, but that is life. Without commitment and without discipline, you go nowhere in life. You need to focus, you need to put priorities, and that's about it. So here we are. So around 90 kilometers in, we took some LSD. I took first one drop, and I took around 2 hours later the second drop.
Okay. First 2 hours was hardcore because it was going just up, but now we are kind of running up here. It's nice, just floating on the trails with nice music. Just goes a little bit up and down, up and down. I wait for the big downhill. Whoa, we will have so much fun. We will have so much fun and adrenaline. Ooh.
And it was just intensify everything. It was maybe not my most brilliant idea, because after 90 kilometers you're already in a lot of pain, and especially in the daytime it was get very hot, and there was a lot of really big mountains to climb up. You really exhausted, you're in the sun, and you're like, oof. You try to motivate yourself, but you look on your watch, and your watch like, what the fuck? It's not moving further, you know. You at some point you're passing 100 kilometer, and I don't know if you want to celebrate passing 100 kilometer when you have like almost 80 more kilometer to go. Like, this is like a lot. This is like just another 2 marathons. This is more than most people ever will take on in one journey. And not even push in all the mountains to conquer in between of this. This is like a lot. You need to somewhere wrap your mind around these numbers, and it's so hard. So I try to avoid to look on the watch or look on the numbers when possible. And I just go over the time and I see there's one aid station to the next aid station, and let's see this every time as a 1-day journey. Like, let's go out for like this 1-day journey. It's like 18 kilometers with 1,000 meters of climb. Like, it will be a hard day, but let's do it. And then you do it, and then from there you focus on the next day. And so somehow you squeeze all of this together in one run, in one journey.
Here we are, 90 kilometers around. We're a little over the half. We have another probably solid 18 to 20 hours ahead of us. And up here, even with the sun, very windy and fresh, but fucking beautiful. Like all views like this, really crazy. And I mean, we was up there already in the night, and now we have one more pass to go.
So yeah, I had like some beautiful moments out there, I cannot lie, especially the downhills. I love downhills, I love to really run fast down, especially when it's really technical, when it's really sketchy. You have a lot of adrenaline, and when there's a lot of people around, it's okay, I can fly a little bit around the people. I don't know if it's annoying to pass the people, or it's more like gives an extra element what you normally not have when you run alone. So it's like more like you go slalom around the people. It's a little bit more entertaining for me. I really flying down and I pass a lot of people, and when I look in my run score, it's like pretty much every station I just passed people. So I started very late in the field because I don't fight for like a spot in the beginning, and I was like so many people in front of me, and over like 1.5 days I just passing peoples, and especially in the downhills. But I mean, ultra runs like this, it's not about the place, at least not for me. It's not about how much people you pass, even it's entertaining and motivating. And I mean, there's nothing much you have out there, you know. And sometimes on some downhills you just count the people you pass, because I mean, what else you have to do? You have not so much to do there, so keep yourself entertained. Especially when the LSD was really kicking in the daytime with the sun. This was really tough. I mean, I put some nice music on and I really enjoyed the nice music, but it's really tough and my body hurts so much. It hurts so much more than before. And I mean, you try to keep running, you try to keep pushing the downhills even more. I think around the 100 kilometer mark, that was when I had my fastest times. What is kind of silly that you run your fastest after you run already 100 kilometer. But I guess that's the game. I think also because there the pain was really like the highest. Also from the LSD, it was really like I had a lot of pain, especially my feet hurt a lot. So I tried to just push it a little bit more to overcome the pain, because pain is a big part of the full thing. You have to just overcome it somehow. Just have to manage it somehow. It's not vanish by itself. You have to accept it, and I mean, it's a part of it.
There's the party going.
Yeah, we go through a really nice day. Awesome, beautiful landscapes, nice mountains, beautiful views, breathtaking, just wonderful. The UTMB, it's called the Tour de Mont Blanc, because the Tour de Mont Blanc is the one tour around. It's a very old trail, very famous, old, beautiful trail. I can really recommend everyone. Even you normally probably take around 10 days or 2 weeks time to travel the tour, but it's probably worth it. You see a lot, you know. We had a lot of the segments was in the night, so you don't have much views in the night, but from all what we've seen in the days, beautiful. In the evening already it started cooling down a lot. The second night arrived, it was getting really cold again. Directly it got so cold again, and I think because of the sleep deprivation and of the tiredness and fatigue of the body, you're just feeling the cold so much more, and it intensifies the pains. At this point Like the LSD was pretty much faded down out of my system because it usually holds around 6-7 hours. It was back to normal state. What means normal state? You know, your mind at this point is not normal anymore. You didn't sleep for so long. You have your body still running without a proper break. I try to eat good. I try to always take a little bit of time on the aid stations, and like every few hours I used like between 10 and 20 minutes on the aid station. So I really took this race chill as you can. And I tried to get myself ready for the night, but honestly, you get yourself ready for a second night without the sleep, without any proper break, without any proper rest, without... It's tough, it's really tough to get you wrapped your mind around this. You know, you're already running more than 24 hours, and no, it's a second night, and you know you will run through the full night.
9,000 meters of altitude climb and 151 kilometers. It's pitch black. Second night, I'm completely crazy. Cannot focus anymore. So I will not run down. But first, I have to shut off this thing here. I not can multifunctional tasking thingy. My mind is full fuzzy. Just crazy.
So here we are, we go through the night, and the night was getting really cold. It started raining a little bit again, and the sleep deprivation was really driving me crazy. I start tripping so hard, I get like hallucinations, not from the LSD, just like normal race-induced hallucination, what a lot of people got. Not crazy stuff, but just my vision was full, shaking, blue. When I look on the ground, everything was like multiplying up and vibrating. It was really hard for me to focus, especially because I didn't put glasses or something, so like my vision is not so good, especially not in the night. I think that together with like the slightly hallucinations I got, that was really driving me crazy. So I tried 2 times to just lie a little bit on the side and get like a rest for 5 minutes, but I already feel it's not doing the job. And there was like, I think the second last aid station, I made a decision to lie down and sleep, because there was like the sleeping area and there was one place free and it was heated, and outside it was so cold. And at this point I was no matter if I go now or if I go in half hour, I will anyway not be finished before the night. The next part was like a not so nice part, because it was go for very long, not so much up, so it's like you not really can run anymore because it's uphill, but it's not so much uphill that it feels good to walk. So you try to it's really like you know it's not a nice part. Then it comes a big uphill, and it was like, it would be much nicer. I'm walking up there, and when I'm top of the mountains, then the sun is there and the sun comes up there. It will give me a lot of energy to finish the race. So I made a decision to sleep a half hour, so also to be with the sunset on the mountain, and also just to get a half hour of rest. So I lie down and I just KO'd myself for 30 minutes. I put an alarm. And this 30 minutes was truly a game changer. Like, I felt so refreshed. I felt the first time like that my mind is like somewhere me and not like just a blob of something. And yeah, then I go out. Yeah, it was rough. That part was really rough. This took really like a lot from me. And there was 2 small mountains with 400 meters of climb inside. And that was completely breaking me apart. Holy crap. That last bit, that was really take everything. You run already so far. You was already putting more than 9,000 meters of elevation into your legs, and you're like still out there, and it's still not stop, and it feels like it never stops. And at the final point, on the final aid station, you know, from here on it's only 7 kilometers downhill. Took a little break there also. I take all my warm clothes off from the night, and I just got back into the race mode. I write to my wife and I told her that no matter what, I will now go back into run mode because I cannot walk anymore. I cannot drag this on so much longer, and I just want to finish it. And then I start running, and it felt good. Or not, it don't felt good on the body, but on my mind it just felt good to run. And it was really hard, 7 kilometers. So I ran the entire 7 kilometers, and I passed a lot of people still in the end, because most people didn't want to run anymore at this point, or really slow. Then I enter the city and run through the city, and everywhere people still, I mean this goes for an entire week, is full crazy madness there, and especially in Chamonix, while the UTMB, this not feels like this is a more small underground sport, or underground sport not, but it feels so much bigger than it is probably, or maybe it is much bigger than you think it is, because 98% of your time as trail runner, you're just somewhere alone by yourself out there, in the training, in the race, in wherever. So it feels just so big, and everywhere people's cheering, and then you just run in, and I was just so happy when it was done. Yes, it took me exactly 40 hours and a couple of seconds over, and that's it. Pam. It's now 1 week after I got a really big cold. That's why I sound like this. Took me a few days to just lie and sleep and eat and try to recover. As we was still in the French Alps, we was go for a couple of small hikes and small runs on a couple of mountains in the next days after. But I tried to keep it chill, I tried to recover, I tried to get healthy, and here I am, 3 days away from my next big run. I'm absolutely not ready. At least my body, my mind, I don't know. You're never really ready for stuff like this. My story of the UTMB 2025. Don't know what to add. I don't know if that made sense. And when you watch till here, thank you a lot. Like, subscribe, This is my second try with YouTube, because my first big channel got deleted. But here we are. We're trying it again, why not? Some simple content, and I hope you like it. I hope we see us again. You find some more videos in case I make them. And maybe we see you somewhere on the trails, somewhere out there. I just can recommend for everyone, do something. Make something. Don't sit around, be lazy, because at the end a shitty workout is still better than a good chill out. I don't know how to say it, but yeah, peace out.